Transformation of series. A complicated series may sometimes be summed by transforming it into a familiar series for which we already know the sum. Okay, so in this method, if you are given to find the sum of a series and maybe that series is somewhat complicated, we can transform that series to a familiar series. Okay, so and find the sum of that series. Okay. So if you are given a complicated series, we are able to transform that series into a familiar series for which we already know the sum of that series. Uh, okay, so that's why the method of this method is named as transformation of series. The given series is transformed into a familiar series of which the sum is known. Okay, for example, sum the series s of x is equal to x raised to 4 by 3 into 0 factorial plus x raised to 5 by 4 into 1 factorial plus x raised to 6 by 5 into 2 factorial plus etc. Okay, so this series is not a familiar series for us and we don't know which method we have to proceed. So look at this. Dividing both sides by x. Okay, then we get s of x by x is equal to here x raised to 4 by x, it becomes x cube by 3 into 0 factorial. Term by term we divide by x. Next x raised to 5 by x, it becomes x raised to 4. So x raised to 4 by 4 into 1 factorial plus x raised to 5 by 5 into 2 factorial plus etc. Next, we are taking the derivatives on both sides. So d by dx of s of x by x is equal to, in the right hand side, we differentiate term by term. So in the first term, 1 by 3 into 0 factorial is a constant and we are taking the derivative of x cube, that is 3x square. Similarly, in the next term, we are taking derivative of x raised to 4, it is 4x cube by 4 into 1 factorial plus 5x raised to 4 by 5 into 2 factorial plus etc. And the common terms cancel in each ratio. So in the first term 3 and 3 get cancelled, as second term 4 and 4 get cancelled, and so on. So it becomes x square by 0 factorial plus x cube by 1 factorial plus x raised to 4 by 2 factorial plus etc. X square is common in all these terms, so we are taking x square outside. So it is x square into 1 by 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1, so the first term is 1 by 1, that is 1 itself. So when x square is taken outside from the second term, it is x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus etc. Okay, the series in the bracket is the expansion of e raised. You have already studied this is the expansion of e raised to x in the plus 2 syllabus. Okay, if you are not studied yet, okay, this is you just remember this e raised to x. The expansion of e raised to x is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial plus etc. So series in the bracket is e raised to x. So it becomes x square into e raised to x. Thus we got d by dx of s of x by x is equal to x square into e raised to x. Next we integrate both sides with respect to x. Okay. So integral d by dx of s of x by x dx is equal to integral x square dx. In the left hand side, integral of the derivative. So integral and derivative cancel out and it becomes s of x by x. And the right hand side, it is integration of the product of two functions. So we apply integration by parts is integral u v dx, integral of two functions, that is equal to first function into integral of second minus integral of derivative of first into integral of second. This is the result. So we apply integration by parts, taking first function as x square and second function as e raised to x. So it becomes x square into integral e raised to x dx minus integral of derivative of first function, derivative of x square into integral of second, integral e raised to x dx. So x square integral e raised to x is e raised to x itself minus integral of derivative of first function d by dx of x square is 2x and integral e raised to x is e raised to x dx. So again it is the 2 is the constant, 2 can be taken outside the integral, and again integral x e raised to x dx, integral of product of two functions. So we apply integration by parts again, taking first function as x and second function as e raised to x. So it is x square e raised to x minus 2. 2 is taken outside, then apply integration by parts. First function x into integral e raised to x, integral of second minus integral of derivative of first function, derivative of x into integral of second, integral e raised to x dx. So that is x square e raised to x minus 2 into x into integral e raised to x is e raised to x minus integral of derivative of x is 1 and integral e raised to x is e raised to x. So it is 1 into e raised to x, that is e raised to x dx. Okay, that is x square e raised to x minus multiply with this 2 inside. So minus 2 x e raised to x, then minus 2 into minus, that is plus 2. And integral e raised to x is e raised to x. So plus 2 e raised to x plus c, constant of integration. Okay, this is given as equation number 2. And the first s, when we divide s of x by x, it is given as equation number 1. Okay. Now, from 1, when x equal to 0, s of x by x is equal to 0. Look at equation number 1. So, when x is equal to 0, then when x is equal to 0, that means in the left hand side put x is equal to 0. So, when x is equal to 0, in the left hand side this expression becomes 0. That means s of x by x is equal to 0 when x is equal to 0. Okay. So, that is why it is written like that, from 1 when x is equal to 0, that is on the right hand side when we put x is equal to 0, then s of x by x becomes 0. So this condition is, I put this condition as equation number 3. That is, when x equal to 0, s of x by x is equal to 0. That is condition 3. Applying condition 3 in 2. Okay, 2 says that s of x by x is equal to x square e raised to x minus 2x e raised to x plus 2 e raised to x plus c. So applying condition 3 means when x is equal, when we are putting x is equal to 0 in 2, then s of x by x is equal to 0. So left hand side becomes 0. 0 is equal to, in the right hand side we put x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, x square e raised to x becomes 0. 2x e raised to x, in that also x contains, so that term also 0. The next term becomes 2 into e raised to x. So 2 into put to e raised to, and plus constant of integration c is there. So 0 is equal to 2 plus c, so that c is equal to minus 2. So we got c is equal to minus 2. Substitute the value of c is equal to minus 2 in equation number 2 we get. So we got we find out the constant of integration using condition 3. So in equation number 2, put c is equal to minus 2. The equation number 2 becomes s of x by x is equal to x square e raised to x minus 2x e raised to x plus 2 e raised to x minus 2. Okay, so it is s of x by x. We are given in the given question is sum the series, and we have to find the sum of the series, and this series is given as s of x. So we have to find what is s of x. So now we have got s of x by x. From that, write s of x. That means multiply with this x to the right hand side. So s of x is equal to x into x square e raised to x minus 2x e raised to x plus 2 e raised to x minus 2. Then open this bracket by multiplying inside. So s of x is equal to x cube e raised to x minus 2x square e raised to x plus 2x e raised to x minus 2x, which is the required sum. So we have find out the required sum in terms of e raised to x. Okay, in terms of x and e raised to x. Okay, so this is the required sum. Look at the second question. Okay, here the sum, usually we have finding in all the questions, when finding sum we get a real number. Here it is written in terms of e raised to x and x. It is written as a function of x. Okay, that is not problem. That is no problem here. Okay, we can sum the series only in this form using the transformation of series. Okay, this is the only method to find the sum of the series. Sum the series. So you should remember these questions. If you are given this question, you can solve this only by the method of transformation of series. Okay, so remember this problem. Okay. So look at the next question. Sum the series S is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2 square plus 4 by 2 cube plus etc. And when you look at this, it is a arithmetico-geometric series because a term is added. First term 1, look at the numerator of second term, that is increased by 1, 2. Numerator of third term increased by 1, 3. And a term 1 by 2 is multiplied with each term. Okay, so it is an arithmetico-geometric series. In that way, you can sum the series. By the method of transformation of series also, you can solve this problem. Okay, so look at that. Define a function. So, defining a function, f of x is equal to, in the format, if this is given like this, we have taken the function f of x as 1 plus 2x plus, here this function is defined in terms of the series. Here 1 by 2 is multiplied In every term 1, 2, 3, each term contains that. This series also contains 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 1 by 2 is multiplied here from second term onwards. So that is given as x here, x square, x cube. Okay. So define function f of x is equal to 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube plus etc. Our required sum is s is equal to f of 1 by 2. Our required sum s is in place of x, if we replace 1 by 2, then which is the required series we have to sum. So s is of 1 by 2. Okay. Integrating equation 1. Okay. This f of x is given as equation number 1 and we are integrating. Integral f of x dx is integral 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube plus etc. dx. So that is when we integrate, that becomes x plus 2x square by 2 plus 3 into x cube by 3 plus 4 into x raised to 4 by 4 plus etc. And when we cancel, it becomes x plus x square plus x cube plus x raised to 4 plus etc. which is an infinite geometric series. Okay, with first term a is equal to x and the common ratio is also x, r is equal to x. Hence the sum of the series, sum of an infinite geometric series with common first term a and common ratio r is a by 1 minus r. So the sum of the series is a is x and r is also x. So x by 1 minus x. So sum of the series is x by 1 minus x. So this equation integral f of x dx becomes, that is equal to x by 1 minus x. Okay. Next we are integrating d by dx of integral f of x dx is d by dx of x by 1 minus x. Here d by dx of integral, so differentiation and integration are reverse processes, so they cancel out and it becomes f of x. So f of x is equal to, here quotient rule, we apply the quotient rule for differentiation. So denominator into derivative of numerator x, that is 1, minus numerator, that is minus x into derivative of denominator, that is minus 1 by denominator square. So by 1 minus x the whole square. When we simplify, we get 1 by 1 minus x the whole square. So f of x, we have got f of x as 1 by 1 minus x the whole square. The sum of the given series we have already written s is 1 by 1 minus x the whole square. So f of 1 by 2 is replace x by 1 by 2. So that becomes 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2 the whole square. 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 1 by 2 square. So that is 1 by 1 by 4, that is 4. Okay, so sum of the series is 4. Okay, so next method, transformation using substitution. Okay, in this method we sum the given series by the method of substitution. We put some substitution and transform the series and then we find the sum of the series. Okay, look at an example. Sum the series s of theta is equal to 1 plus cos theta plus cos 2 theta by 2 factorial plus cos 3 theta by 3 factorial plus etc. Okay, e raised to I theta. Okay, look at this substitution. Okay, e raised to I theta is defined as cos theta plus I sin theta. I think you have already studied this result. If not, just remember this. E raised to I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. So cos theta, so e raised to I theta is a complex number. It has the real part cos theta and imaginary part sin theta. Okay. So cos theta can be written as real part of this complex number e raised to I theta. So cos theta is real part of e raised to I theta. Okay. So s of theta, the given s of theta can be written as 1 plus this cos theta can be written as real part of e raised to I theta. Similarly, cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta is real part of e raised to I 2 theta because e raised to I theta is cos 2 theta, e raised to I 2 cos 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta. So that this cos 2 theta can be written as real part of e raised to I 2 theta. Okay, so this is replaced by real part of e raised to I 2 theta by 2 factorial. Next, cos 3 theta can be replaced as real part of e raised to I 3 theta by 3 factorial plus etc. So this can be written as, we can take real part outside. Okay, real part outside. That means if we take in each term, it contains real part. In the first term, there is no real part, but real part of the real number 1 is 1 itself. So we can take real part outside. So real part raised to I theta plus e raised to I 2 theta by 2 factorial plus e raised to I 3 theta by 3 factorial plus etc. So real part of 1 plus e raised to I theta plus e raised to I 2 theta is e raised to I theta the whole square. a raised to m the whole raised to n is a raised to mn. So e raised to I2 theta can be written as e raised to I theta the whole square by 2 factorial. Similarly, e raised to I3 theta can be written as e raised to I3 theta the whole cube by 3 factorial plus etc. But we know e raised to x is 1 plus x by 1 factorial